Hello everyone, this is the Board Game Lawyer. Today I'm going to do another Marvel Champions playthrough video. And of course, Marvel Champions is a product of Fantasy Flight Games. But today I'm going to be using a Marvel Champions monthly matchup challenge. And it's challenge number 5. It's entitled Hail Crossbones. Now the Marvel Champions monthly crew has given us the encounter set. As you can imagine, it is Crossbones. That's the encounter set. And instead of modular sets that we're going to include in our deck today, they've asked us to include 3 Nemesis sets. And the 3 that they've selected for us is the one out of Black Widow, which includes Taskmaster, the one out of Captain America, which is Baron Zemo, and the one out of Spider-Woman, and that includes the Viper. So today I'm going to be using a She-Hulk deck, and I'm going to be using her with Kennedy Hawk's Decked Hall's 2021 Reconstructed deck. And he's titled this one She-Hulk Smashes, so it's an aggression deck. And so this is like 2 challenges in one. But admittedly, I haven't played either one of these characters in quite some time, but I just make these videos for fun. I know there's much better players out there, but this sounds like a really fun concept. I'm looking forward to seeing how Kennedy is going to be constructing all of the decks in the collection over the course of the month of December. But let's see how this works out for She-Hulk. So we're going to begin with our setup. So of course we have Crossbones here. He has a scheme of 1 and an attack of 1. His star ability on his attack says, while Crossbones has a weapon attachment, his attacks gain piercing. Discard any tough status cards from the target before dealing damage. And the main scheme, it reads on setup, it says to create the experimental weapons deck and set it next to the main scheme. And so here's our experimental weapons deck. There's 4 in there. I'll go ahead and shuffle these together. And we're going to set these next to the main scheme. And then we'll flip over to side 1B. And it reads, when revealed, reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. All right, so top card of the experimental weapons deck is Exosuit. Attached to the villain, hero action, spend one of these 3 different resources to discard this card. The Exosuit is going to give him +1 scheme and +1 attack, and it's an attachment. And it's experimental, and it's a weapon. So we'll put that right there on Crossbones. And we'll notice that playing in Standard, Crossbones number 1 begins with health of 12. Now She-Hulk, of course, is going to start on her alter ego side, which is Jennifer Walters. And her text reads, I object. Interrupt. When threat would be placed on a scheme, prevent 1 of that threat. Limit once per round. Okay, so she begins with 15 hit points, which we have here, and she also begins with a hand size of 6. Now when we flip over to the She-Hulk side, it reads, do you even lift? Response, after you change this form, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So when we flip, 2 damage would go on to Crossbones or whatever minion he has in play, which of course we know he's got some pretty powerful minions in his deck, and hopefully we see some. Anyway, let's draw up our hand size of 6. So our first card is Hulk. Hulk ally. We also have split personality. This reads action, change your form, flip your identity card, then draw up to your printed hand size. We have endurance, which you can gain 3 additional hit points. We have Tigra, another minion. Our 4th card is Lion Weight. After a minion engages you, discard Lion Weight, deal 3 damage to that minion. That could come in very handy. And looking for trouble, it says discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until you discard a minion. Put that minion into play, engage with you, remove 3 threat from the main scheme. Well, we don't have any threat on the main scheme to begin the game, so I think I'm going to mulligan this card off, looking for trouble. It would be a way to get a minion into play, but I don't think I'm that interested in seeing minions right away. I think we'll also, yeah, that's a good one to have. Let's toss Split Personality. It's kind of an expensive card. Kind of want to get a minion out to help us right away. And also, if I discard 3 resources, I can get rid of that exosuit, which might come in handy. I don't know. I think we're going to discard Tigra as well. So we'll drop 3 more cards. We have Wasp. Wasp gets +1 hit point for each PIM counter on her. How do you get a PIM counter? When Wasp enters play, place 1 PIM counter on her to a maximum of 3 for each energy resource you overpaid for Wasp's cost. So it's similar to the Ant-Man card, if you're familiar with that one. First Aid, and we have Counterattack. Hero Response. After you take damage from an enemy attack, discard Counterattack, deal an equal amount of damage to that enemy. So, wow, if we could find one of those, well, Crossbones is really beefed up. That would be handy. So those are our 6 cards to begin the game. I think for sure I'd like to put... Well, that Wasp is strong. If I spent these 3 cards here, I could put her out. And I could put an upgrade out onto... Let's do that. Let's try putting Wasp on the table. So Wasp gets +1 hit point for each PIM counter on her. So we know we can get up to 3. So I'm going to use Hulk, Lion Weight, and Endurance to put Wasp on the table. And we'll give her 3 PIM counters. She has an attack of 3. And we'll also put the counterattack on the table, spending First Aid to do that. So that's a nice upgrade that she can have. I think we'll go ahead and immediately flip, which is going to deal 2 damage to Crossbones. So that'll knock him down to 10. And 2. And then we'll do 3 more damage from She-Hulk onto Crossbones. 1, 2, 3. So we've knocked 5 out of him already, and we can do 3 attack with Wasp. 1, 2, 3. So Crossbones is down to 4 already. And that will end She-Hulk's turn. Of course, in this form, she only gets a hand size of 4. And we'll ready Wasp. We'll have to give her 1 consequential damage for that attack that she pulled off. And we'll begin by placing 1 threat on attack on Mount Athena. Crossbones is going to attack She-Hulk. Let me draw up my hand first, though. I don't want to forget to do that. So I have First Aid, heal 2 damage from a character, Helicarrier, 1-2 punch, and Hellcat. All right, nice set of cards for our hand. I'm going to lay it right here for now. And so Crossbones is going to attack She-Hulk. I'm not going to defend. I don't really have a defend card that's worthwhile in my deck. I do have counterattack. After you take damage from an enemy attack, discard counterattack, deal an equal amount of damage to the enemy. Right now he's 1 + 1. Draw a card. 2. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to She-Hulk. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will knock Crossbones all the way down to 0. Since I am going to counterattack. After you take damage from an enemy attack, discard counterattack, deal an equal amount of damage to that enemy. So that knocks Crossbones all the way down to 0 already. So, stage 1 of Crossbones is defeated. That brings up 2. It says, while Crossbones has a weapon attachment, his attacks gain piercing. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Crossbones' machine gun and attach it to Crossbones. Shuffle the encounter deck. We're going to go look for that machine gun. There's a lot of minions in here. I may have passed it. Nope, there it is. shuffling. So that's going to attach. It reads, attached to Crossbone, uses 2 ammo counters. Forced interrupt. When Crossbone attacks you, remove 1 ammo counter from this card and discard the top card of the encounter deck. Take indirect damage equal to the number of boost icons on the discarded card. Okay, so he's got a machine gun, so when he attacks me, that'll go off. We need to put 2 ammo counters on there, and we may need to make sure that we don't forget to give Crossbones his health, which is a whopping 14 now. 14 health. Okay. So look at my hand again just to see what we got. All right. And now we draw our encounter card. And let's see, when revealed, this card, is there no more? Search the encounter deck. Okay, so we got the machine gun attachment. Very good. All right. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I draw my encounter card, and it says Viper's Ambition. When revealed, place 1 additional threat here. So it's 2 plus 1. So that'll be 3 threat on the Viper's Ambition. And if I don't get rid of that, I'm going to have to draw an extra encounter card next turn. Excuse me. Okay, so that will finish Crossbones' turn. Oh, and did I do my 4 damage? Yes, I did. Did my 4 damage. So, we have the Helicarrier, 1-2 punch, first aid. I think we're going to do some healing. And we may heal Wasp. So I think the first thing that we're going to do is Wasp is going to take a swing at Crossbones. And she's going to do 3 damage. Brings it down to 11. Then we will use our Helicarrier first aid to heal 2 damage from the character. So we're going to heal 2 damage off of Wasp. She-Hulk is going to take a swipe at Crossbones for 3. 1, 2, 3. Brings him down to 8. And then the 1-2 punch reads, after you make a basic attack using your attack, ready She-Hulk. It costs 1 to do that. Excuse me. Tickle in my throat. So we're going to ready She-Hulk. And she's going to take another swat at Crossbones for 1, 2, 3. So he's now down to 5. We'll ready She-Hulk. We'll ready Wasp. And we will draw our hand size of 4. So we have an energy. We've got Avengers Mansion. We have Focused Rage. And we have Mockingbird. Okay, so that's our hand for our next turn. We'll begin by placing 1 threat on attack on Mount Athena. Crossbones now is 2 plus 1 plus he has the machine gun. When Crossbones attacks you, we'll remove 1 ammo counter from this card and discard the top card of the encounter deck and take indirect damage equal to the number of boost icons on the discarded card. So he's going to attack, and we'll draw our boost. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage is what Crossbones is going to do to She-Hulk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the machine gun, we're going to remove 1 ammo counter. Discard a card for 3 more. I think we'll take 2 damage onto Wasp. 1, 2, and 1 more damage on the She-Hulk. Okay, well, remember we got Viper's Ambition on the table, so we'll have to draw 2 cards. There's 1, and there's 2. So our first card that we draw is Caught Off Guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards were discarded this way, this card gains Surge. So we're going to Surge into this. The hero, the villain, and each minion engages you, attacks you. So Crossbones is going to attack again. When Crossbones attacks you, remove 1 ammo counter. Let me see what I've got in my hand. Hope I could do enough damage on my next turn to finish him off, but I don't think I do. So I really need to keep Wasp on the table. So, that is a tough one. So he's at 2, plus 1 is 3. 2 more damage would knock out She-Hulk. And when Crossbones attacks you, remove 1 ammo counter. So he's got that machine gun. That's tough. I think what we're going to do is we're going to block with She-Hulk. So she's got 2 defense. So we draw for our attack. So it's 2, 3, 4, minus 2. So 2 damage. 1, 2. And then for the machine gun, we're going to draw a card. So it's 2 more. So we'll do 2 more damage to She-Hulk. 1, 2. That'll take her down to 1. And the machine gun is gone. All right. How quickly we're fading. So, our final encounter card, hopefully, is Full Auto. When revealed, discard X cards from the top of the encounter deck, where X equals Crossbones attack. Take 1 indirect damage for each boost icon discarded this way. Ooh. So he has discard X cards from the top of the encounter deck. X equals Crossbones attack. 1, 2, 3. Eek. The first one is 2. We've got a star. And 2 more. So that's 4 indirect damage I have to take. Ouch. Well, that's going to finish us off because Wasp only has 1 health. And She-Hulk only has 1 health. I have to take 4 indirect damage. And so Crossbones has defeated She-Hulk in this challenge. So it's just for fun. So again, I'd like to thank the Marvel Champions Monthly Podcast crew for issuing this challenge. If you would like to attempt this challenge, I know that they would love to hear your results. If you're a fan of Marvel Champions, you know where you can find them. They're not hard to find. They're all over Marvel Champions Media. For those who are watching, if you'd like to contact me, you can shoot me an email at boardgamelawyer@gmail.com. And I'd really like to thank you for watching, and I hope to bring you another video soon.